Let's recap at the 3-hour mark. Team Penske's Fords were first and third. Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, both the Roush Fenway Fords. Stenhouse and Bain in the top 10. And rookie Daniel Suarez, the fastest Toyota, who was fifth. Now, last week, the folks at Race Hub took a look at Team Penske going into 2017.
Brad Keselowski will plant his battle flag in victory lane.
Caution has waved. Keselowski, the leader.
This is for the win at Daytona.
Right, Daytona.
Brad Keselowski has won here at Kentucky.
The biggest obstacle or challenge is just being perfect in those last 10 races. You got to be perfect. Last year we had 0 DNFs. We had the best average finish, scored the most points, tied for the most wins. We've done all those things to the last 10 races, and then we had 3 DNFs in the last 6. It really took us out of contention. You have to be perfect in those last 10 races. That's going to be our biggest challenge.
Logano looking for his first win of the year.
Awesome. Oh yeah, get ready to party. Checker, baby. Yeah! Next round! Yeah! Hell yeah! Good job, man. Welcome back to Homestead. Yeah!
I think it's 2 big challenges. For one, you have the new rules package with the cars, which is going to be a pretty big change. I think is being overlooked probably right now by the format change and how the races are going to be. I think they're both going to be equally as big to figure out. Yes, your cars have to be fast, but now strategy is incredibly tough. With the way the new format is, if you can get some bonus points up in the beginning of the year and set yourself up good, that's going to help you get all the way to Homestead. For me, I have one gear, man. It's wide open. So it doesn't really change the way I race as a driver, but as a team and how Todd's going to have to call these races is obviously going to be different.
As drivers, what you're going to see is a desire and maybe more of an anger factor when things don't go your way in the regular season that didn't exist.
Of the cars. That's the biggest challenge that we face week in and week out. Trying to beat everybody else to try to win a race, and it's so tough to win these cup races. The preparation before you even get to the track is key to try to be as close as you can be and trying to give the best information that you can throughout the whole weekend. And that was probably one of the biggest things that I tried to work on and get better at. And I spent a lot of time in the offseason trying to do just that. The fire suit, we based it on the Darlington and the Talladega suit I wore last year. Wood Brothers and I talked about trying to do a version of that, and I think it turned out really well. You know, why not have an old school suit for the oldest running team in NASCAR? So I'm really happy that, you know, Motorcraft and everybody let us do this. I think it gives us a really good look for what the Wood Brothers represent.
Really, the 3 of us have a lot in common, and we just naturally get along. You know, I think we all kind of get the big picture, and I think that's hard to find a lot of times when you get teammates that all, I guess, see the big picture together and understand what we're there to do. Yes, we all want to win, right? Each one of us wants to win the race and have the trophies and all that, but we also realize that if we don't work together, none of us are going to raise the trophies up. So I think it's important. You know, Brad and I I feel like we've grown into a great friendship. At this point, we talk about a lot of things outside of racing, and I think that's valuable when it becomes something more than a business relationship. And I think it's hard to have that, but I think it is very important.
You don't want to miss NASCAR Race Hub, Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's the hub right here on FS1. So Team Penske and their alliance with Wood Brothers Racing going into 2017, it seems they're just right on the brink of another championship. And, you know, that idea of drivers under 30 or 35, if you want to hedge your bet, running for the championship and winning, you got to include these fellas.
Well, first I think of Penske just in general and their attention to detail and where they're at as far as other organizations, one of the top ones out there. But then I think of what contributes to that as a driver lineup and crew chief: chemistry. there's a tremendous amount of chemistry between these three drivers. But that also suits them well in their chemistry with their crew chiefs and some of the strategy that's going to play out with the stages this year and the way these races are going to unfold. You got to be able to be aggressive, and they certainly have an aggressive lineup of drivers and crew chiefs that know how to utilize that.
So Darrell, with Stuart Haas moving forward and Penske being right now the #1 Ford team,
right?
They don't like to share.
No, Roger has a history of liking to be on an island by himself. And so I wonder if bringing in those 4 cars from Stuart Haas, how that's going to affect the Ford relationship with Roger and Tony Stewart and Gene Haas, those guys. It should make them better. I mean, you think about the technology that Stuart Haas can bring to the table. They've been over here using Hendrick cars and engines and chassis for a long time, and now they're going to switch over to Ford. I got to think some of that information might cross over. It could help them all. But I always think about Roger. When I think about him, we always think about him being over there somewhere doing something different than everybody else is doing.
But we know they know how to win, because at Team Penske, Trans Am, Can-Am, IndyCar, NASCAR, 29 national championships in all those forms of motorsports. All part of the 50 years so far of Team Penske.